Well, hello and welcome, everybody. It's so great to have you here. I am Wendy Rose Williams, and I am a past life energy healer. And what that means is I have the gift of helping people release energy that does not serve them anymore. And often that past life energy, it can show up as chronic pain, both physical and emotional. It can show up as stuck creativity. It can show up as sadness and depression. It can show up as just feeling like we cannot move forward. It can also show up as a lot of obstructions to what we feel is our purpose or understanding our purpose. So, welcome. I am so glad you're here. And what we're going to do is let me get everybody muted. So, just kind of background sounds, since they're not from me for once, they're not from me and my dog. So, let's see here. Here we go. One more time. Let's get everybody muted. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to have an energy clearing and blessing. I'm going to call on the angels and ask them to assist everyone, both people who are here live on the call and people who may be listening to it as a recording later via my YouTube channel. And then I will walk you through some resources that I have available to help you, resources that are no charge, and then also walk you through the one-on-one services of the programs that there is a charge for. And then we'll get to my favorite part. We'll get to the Q&A. So you are so welcome to be posing any questions that you have of help that you need with things to do with energy, things you're trying to work out and understand with how to connect with your guides or what your purpose is, reincarnation, past lives, any of that, anything in that metaphysical world is so fair game. So please put your question in the chat. And chat, if you're not familiar with it, if you take your cursor down over the bottom of your screen, there should be a little box that comes up that says chat. And you can put your question in there, and that's where I will start from when we get to that portion. And you also are able to see, I've put in the chat for you some various links that we're going to get to, and you are welcome to copy paste any of those links that might be helpful to you, things like the link to my website and to my podcast and things like that. So let's get started. You're welcome to just get as comfortable as you can in your seat. Some of you may even choose to lie down, put your head down, just close your eyes, take your glasses off, whatever's comfortable for you. And I'm going to call in the angels to do that energy clearing and blessing for all of us. Thank you, angels, for sweeping your nets up through the core of Mother Earth and through everyone's physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional bodies, financial bodies, relationship bodies, romantic bodies, creative bodies, any and all bodies and subtle bodies, and our aura. Any body that I've mentioned and have not mentioned, please sweep your nets through them, taking with you anything that does not serve us, that does not serve the listeners on this call, that does not serve people who will listen to it at a later date. Please take that energy not serving us up to the light for healing now. We would be so grateful for that. Allowing for more alignment with our higher selves, calling our higher selves to be fully in our bodies with all the distilled wisdom across all lifetimes, calling in our guides and guardian angels to please be with us, not only today, but every day of our lives. We are making that choice to ask for help and to graciously receive that help and that guidance from our marvelous guides, and also to be able to feel their love for us. It's just a really big deal to be able to feel that unconditional love. So I love helping people help make that connection, both with their higher self as well as with their guides. Let's do that twice more. Thank you, angels, for sweeping your nets up through the core of Mother Earth and through everyone's home and property. Please take with you any energy that does not serve us so that our homes can be wonderful, happy places, sanctuaries, places that we enjoy being, places that are a reflection of us. And please balance up our homes and properties, not only for those of us here together on the call, but for others who live in the home and visit our homes regularly. whether they are two-legged, four-legged, fins, feathers, whatever they might have. Please balance up our beautiful homes and properties, not only for us, but for our animals and for the wildlife that is outdoors. And while we're thinking about our outdoors, our yards, our property, our areas where our homes are located, let's take a moment to thank Mother Earth for allowing us to be here at this pivotal time and helping us to be fully in our bodies and grounded to a beautiful, gracious Mother Earth. Let's send her some love and assistance because she really needs it from us at this pivotal time. And let's just bless the earth herself, the clean waters, the clean air, the trees, the flowers, the animals, anything that comes to mind when you think of beautiful nature and all that it gives to us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. One more time. Thank you, angels, for sweeping your nets up through our emotions. Yes, we have to feel it to heal it. And we experience many wonderful emotions of peace and love and joy and gratitude and excitement and enthusiasm. Yes, that is what we come here for, to be able to feel those feelings. And we also feel emotions that can be very challenging. And I would so appreciate the angels sweeping your nets through those emotions that no longer serve us. Yes, we are willing to feel them, but we're able to learn how to do so in a really efficient way. I'm talking 30 to 60 to 90 seconds to fully feel the emotion and then be willing to let it go with the angels' help. So let's have them take those emotions that no longer serve us, that we've already learned anything we needed to learn from them, and we're now ready to balance our energy in beautiful ways, asking for a balancing of all our chakras, our major life force energy centers, as well as of the major elements in our body, our fire and water, our earth and air. We'd be so grateful for that. Please take with you, angels, any emotions that no longer serve us, whether it is confusion, a lack of clarity, indecision, whether it is frustration, exhaustion, overwhelm, whether it's sadness, whether it is depression, whether it is anger, whether it is rage, whether it's discomfort, pain, dysfunction, whatever it might be, all the emotions related to what I just described. Would be so grateful for you to please take those with you, send them down our grounding cords, down to that magnetic core of Mother Earth, helping us be more in our bodies, inviting in once again our higher selves to be fully in our bodies, so that we can ground beautifully to Mother Earth and can ground also, can connect also with the heavens, with the light, with the universe up above. We'd be so grateful for that. So let's just have a moment of silence. Anything else you'd like to ask for help letting go of, or anything you'd like to ask for more of in your life, this is your moment to do that. So let's just hold the space for that, for each person to do that individually as needed. And then we'll close out the blessing from the angels. All right, wonderful. Angels are bringing in lots and lots of light, lots of uplift for everyone. Thank you, angels. It is done. So be it. All right, you're welcome to gently come back to your body, back to the present day and time. And you're welcome to open your eyes if you haven't already, coming back to the present day and time, which is December 7th, 2023. So let's go through some resources I have available for you. And oh, wonderful. People are putting questions in. Fantastic. So you're welcome to keep adding them in there. And I'll go through the resources, and then I will unmute everybody too, invite you to unmute, and we can go through those questions. So, resources I have available for you, please visit my website if you haven't already, which is my full name, which is Wendy Rose Williams. So the website is wendyrosewilliams.com. And you can register there for things like today's event. And this is an ongoing series. So you are able and so welcome to come back to this anytime you need an energy boost or need some help with clearing your energy or just have a pressing question. Please come on back. And you'll also see that there are complimentary workshops and special events coming up, and you'll see information regarding upcoming podcasts and just different things that may be of interest to you. Podcast. Speaking of the podcast, I have the pleasure of podcasting with a podcast partner named Greg Kirk. We've been podcasting together for over 3 years, and the name of the podcast is Waking Up Spiritually. So you can find the episodes at wakingupspiritually.com. And it's got a search function on it now. So if you've got a special topic you'd like more information on, like how to connect with your guides, you want to know more about past lives, energy management, just pop it into that search box at wakingupspiritually.com. You're very likely to find a podcast on that topic. And if you don't see one and you've got a great idea of what you would love help with, please contact me via my website on the Contact Me tab, the last tab, and let me know what you'd love some help with. And we may create a podcast in that area. Always love to get those suggestions. The podcast is typically the second Monday of the month, and we do it as a Facebook Live. So you'll see the link here for the Facebook group. You're so welcome to join that Facebook group, and it's another place where you can get support and ask questions on an ongoing basis. And this coming Monday, we're going to do a different time because we've got a wonderful guest speaker who's coming in. So it's going to be at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 6 p.m. in the UK. And Debbie Buse will be joining us as she has for the last 2 years. And the topic is 2024 astrology and numerology. What's coming up? So that is always just a really interesting discussion. So she will be our guest. So hope you can join us for that live. And again, as I said, if you can't join live, don't worry, it will be recorded. And then you can just listen to it via the website or go to the YouTube for Waking Up Spiritually. And let's see, what other resources? My books are available for you. I've had the pleasure of publishing several books, and they're available on Amazon. And you can look under my full name, Wendy Rose Williams, and find them there. And so that link is here for you to the Amazon location. And let's walk you through. So that's the free resources that are available. Let me walk you through some of the one-on-one resources. There are 2 main one-on-one private resources, energy healing sessions that I have available for you. And some of the speakers on the call have already had those. So it's always great to see friends back here again. And what the first program is, it's a series of 3 energy healing sessions. It's architected by your higher self and by your guide. So it's different every time. But I'll give you what the typical or the overall structure of that is, because it can change what the content is. Because again, your higher self and guides know what you most need, and they know what's most effective for you. These sessions are done via Zoom. So you're in the comfort of your own home, and I record it for you. So the idea is for you to be able to just lie down, recline, relax somewhere comfortable where you won't be interrupted, and be able to have your first session, which is a 2.5-hour comprehensive session, followed by a 1-hour session, followed by a third session that is also 1 hour. And the link is here for you to be able to self-schedule those. Which is great because you can just go in and compare calendars and see when you can get that quiet household. And if you never have a quiet household, if you've always got a busy household, you certainly can just car as temple is a thing. And you can just go park somewhere wonderfully quiet and just be able to do the session in your car or do it from a friend or family member's home. If you've got lots of pets and other people, and if home is just always very, very busy. The sessions are typically scheduled 2 to 3 weeks apart. You can do them as quickly as 1 week apart or as far apart as 4 weeks apart, so monthly. So you're going to kind of just know yourself, and you'll know if you're like a fast processor or you just got a lot going on and you really want to dig deep and just really power through. Then schedule them weekly. That's absolutely fine. But a lot of people like to do that 2 to 3 week duration, or even 4 weeks, as I said, and give us more time to work together, and give there to be more time for interesting dreams to come up, just for other things to kind of settle in and process. So it's your choice. You're gonna know yourself best of how to schedule with that. So what do we do in the sessions? Typically, so these are energy healing sessions that include past life regression, but so much more. I have the privilege of being a Reiki Master energy healer, as well as a channel, as well as a certified spiritual teacher and a past life regressionist. So there's just a lot of different things that we can do to get you the most assistance that you need. And typically what we're doing in the first session, that 2.5 hour session, is we're going to a healing temple. And in the healing temple, we bring in a series of colored healing lights. You simply tell me where each light goes and what color it is. And then I work with it to gently yet powerfully heal you through all space and time, through any life form you've ever been, not only the present life, but through your past lives, parallel future lives where appropriate, and in any location, because many of us have incarnated not only on Earth, but on other planets and in other dimensions. And guess what? That energy can be marvelous. It can be amazing to remember, to be pulling from, and it can also be causing issues. It can be causing challenges. Just had a gal earlier this week that was having a lot of back pain that was really kind of puzzling. And then we figured it out during her third session, and her guides just came in and said, we need to go to some other realms. We need to go to some other planets. And that's what we did. And I can't wait to hear from her of how much better she's doing since we healed some of those other lives. So it's whatever is needed. So healing temple, healing lights, first of all. And then what we do is we balance up your 4 elements, the 4 major elements in your body, if they're not already nicely balanced. And those 4 elements are fire and water and earth and air. If you are super low on any of those, oh my goodness, what a difference to get to really bring in more of that. I am one of those people who was very low on one of the 4 elements, and it just changed everything. It changed my life completely when I finally got that fourth element just cooking along as it was meant to be. It's just so much fun and so rewarding to be able to see that change people's lives for the better if they're super low in any of those elements. As I said, people are wonderfully balanced, and then we just simply increase all of them, which is always for the good too. And then what we do is we work with the major chakras in your body. And it's great if you're familiar with them, and it is not a concern if you've never even heard of the chakras. Chakras, CHAKRA, it is simply our life force energy centers. We've all got 7 major chakras, starting with the crown on down to the root chakra at the base of the tailbone spine. And we give you a marvelous tune-up if that is needed. And again, that makes an incredible difference in life for so many people, because often 1 or 2 or 3 or more of the chakras really need an upgrade, really need an enhancement, a clearing, a boost, and we're able to do that together. So it's a really rewarding thing to get to see that and hear people's reactions to that, either real time as it's happening, or in their next session when they just mention how things have changed in life. So that is really rewarding to get to see. And again, if you're a Reiki master or very familiar with them and work with them already now, fantastic. we still can just take a look at them and see if anything's needed there. And if not, we just move on to other things. So that's the beauty of working one-on-one. Same thing with the healing lights. Some people bring in 3 healing lights. I've had other people bring in 50. So it's just very unique to what each person needs. And then that is what we do in the healing temple. There can be other things certainly that are brought up that come up because again, it's unique to you. So I'll just be following the lead of your higher self and of your guides of what they're recommending. And you'll just be telling me what you're experiencing and feeling and seeing and sensing and knowing. And then the second thing that we do typically is get you wonderfully connected with your guide. And again, some people already are, and that's terrific. Other people have been wanting and wanting to get connected with their guide and just have not been able to do so. And many people tell me that was their favorite moment, to feel that unconditional love from your guide and to feel that you've got that support and that wisdom, and that you are not alone and you're not trying to just be that salmon fighting your way upstream all the time, which can just be so exhausting when we feel like we don't have enough support or don't have enough resources to be, or don't have the harmonious, the wonderful relationships we want to have, or don't have the health, whatever's feeling missing. So we really work to get that addressed for you in the best way we can. So we get that wonderful, loving, wise guide connected with you. And then the concept is for you to be able to then connect with your guide on your own going forward. And I'll keep helping you with it because we've got two more sessions to be working on that. If you just really feel like you're hitting a brick wall and just letting me know, oh my gosh, Wendy, I can't see, feel, sense, I'm just getting nothing. Don't panic. It's absolutely fine, because in that case, I will simply, with your permission, I will channel your guide for you. And that way you get to feel like what their energy is like and learn their name and what they look like, and just maybe learn a little bit of your history together. And they'll share a gift with you that's going to be really meaningful and useful in your life today, and they'll share a message with you. And then we can ask them, okay, now what's a great way for you to connect with them, so that you can just start practicing and doing that on your own. And for other people, it's more of a validation. They're like, oh my gosh, I wondered, I thought that, I didn't know if it was just wishful thinking. So we can get some validation for you. And that's always fantastic too. So Healing Temple, meet with your guide. And then we typically in that first session are going through this beautiful meadow, walking through the meadow, where we'll have 2 more healing experiences, one with the sun and one with this ancient tree. And then we're setting everything up where we're going to go to the time and place with the most healing and information and uplift for your life today. And you can hear from that prompt, it's open-ended enough. You may go straight into a past life or into past lives, because it's certainly not limited to one. Or you might go into scenes earlier in this lifetime, because many people benefit and just need that healing and releasing of something that happened earlier in this lifetime, whether it was when you were a younger adult, teenager, a child, whatever, in utero, whatever it might have been. So we're able to go where we need to go. And typically that's the first session, is we're like getting poised and getting ready to go to that past life. Everyone has a different baud rate of like how quickly we go. And again, the beauty of working one-on-one, I'm going to fit to your pace of how quickly or how thoughtfully we need to go. And you'll just be giving me feedback of what's working the best for you and what you're experiencing. So typically in the second session is when we will go to that marvelous past life or past lives, and just be learning from it, or the scenes earlier in this lifetime. We get there by going via a wonderful little boat, takes you where you need to go. It does all the work for you. And we go through this beautiful crystal cave. and I make a list of the different crystals that are sending you healing crystalline energy that you're welcome to receive into your body if you'd like to. Everything's just a free will choice through it. Throughout the sessions, it's whatever feels right to you, because you know yourself best of all, and you know what feels comfortable and right for you. So receiving that wonderful healing energy, and then I make a list of them, as I said, and then I physically build for you a healing crystal grid. You might be able to see it a little bit over my left shoulder. I've got one back there for a client right now. Or you can also see it on the website. There's a better picture on the website where you can see they're always unique. It's specific to the person. And then that marvelous crystal grid, it works for you for your lifetime. And also, you know how to get to that crystal cave. You know how to get to that healing temple. So these are just experiences. They're just techniques that not only benefit you real time, but you get to listen to the recording, and you also then you can pick and choose what felt the most beneficial for you and do more of it on your own. Many people tell me the biggest surprise that they get from having done these sessions is improved quality of sleep. And that is a big deal when we can just get our energy balanced and just set up a protocol where we're taking ourselves to a healing temple as we're falling asleep at night. That really can make a difference for people of getting more restful sleep and waking up with a lot more energy. So I think that's kind of like the number one surprise for people that I always love to hear, is that their sleep quality improved. So that's fantastic. And so that's typically taken us through session 2, as we've gone through the past life or past lives or scenes earlier in this lifetime. And then we will purposefully go to the last day in a past life. And we leave that body. You're an eternal soul. You're able to leave that body just thanking it for everything it did for you. We raise our vibration and frequency, and we go on back home. We go on back to heaven, to God, to the light, to the universe, whatever the correct term is for you. And I work to be really respectful of your belief system. So whatever words or terms you want me to use, you just let me know. And you can tell me that ahead of time, or I will ask you that as we're getting started, just so that I am dovetailing with you, so it's just more comfortable and uplifting for you. So for simplicity, we'll say we've gone up home to the light. And this is typically session 3 of what happens is we call in your guide, ask your guide to please meet us there with your book of life. And a lot of people will say, oh, that was my favorite. Just the process of getting to leave their body and feeling themselves get so much lighter and having more of their higher self energy return to them, letting go of pain or discomfort or anxiety or depression, whatever they're feeling, how to let go of. And then you know how to do that. So raising our vibration and frequency to do that. So a lot of people will say that's the moment for them. Other people will say, oh my goodness, when I saw that book of life, that was just everything to me, to get to see all the light coming off it and to just feel so much more confident to know that I really have lived these lives and I really have met all these challenges and learned all these things, and I'm able to tap more back into that again. And what we're doing, and when we're up with the light with the book of life, you're able to write up to 20 questions and requests for your higher self and guide to help you with. And you write them before you start the first session. So when you're scheduling and it's got the secure payment processor and that link, when you're signing up, it also has a place to put in what your questions are. So there's just 4 categories: health questions, anything about wealth or career, anything about relationships, and then miscellaneous. So miscellaneous is anything that's not one of those other 3 major categories or buckets. Often people want to know more about their purpose. They want to know more about an interesting dream, or how to lucid dream, or how to connect with their guide more, or they might be trying to still sort through a near-death experience or spiritually transformative experience. Or this morning's client, she is having the privilege of starting to see some UFOs, and she wanted to understand what that meant and why she was always seeing them from the south. And so we were able to answer those unique questions for her. So again, it's specific to the person. And do not stress about, oh my gosh, I've got to write the 20 perfect questions. You don't. Just ask your higher self and guides to help you write them. You might only have 4 questions. You might have 16. You might have 7, whatever it is. And don't worry about forgetting important ones. If it's important, it will absolutely bubble up during your sessions. And your higher self and guides will tell us if there's some more important things to work on. It's rare. Usually people get it pretty darn well, but occasionally we're told you're going to figure out those out on your own. We really want to focus on this, and something major and new, and it's just right. Will come up again. So we'll just find out what we find out. So that is how the 3 sessions work. And for those of you who are Speedy Gonzalez and do have a major spiritual practice, and maybe you've done lots of energy healing or past life regressions before, or just have that quick baud rate, that's absolutely fine. If you do all of that in 1 session or in 2 sessions, that's absolutely terrific. I did have a gentleman over the summer who was like that. He was just really on it, and the guides did everything that quickly with him because they wanted to bring up some things for the future for him, and they wanted to bring back some forgotten abilities, which were pretty darn cool. So some things that he had been perfecting before, and they wanted to really focus on that. Or some people want to use these sessions to self-actualize, and they want to write a book, but they're just feeling really stuck with it, or they want to start a business. I'll share a secret with you. I have my master's in business administration. I've had it since I was 22 years old. So I do have that wonderful left brain side too, in addition to the energy healer part. So if you want to do anything business-wise, I'm happy to help you with that. And a lot of times I'll have people coming to me and say, I have this idea for a spiritual services type business I'm feeling called to, or again, I want to write the book, or I want to start a podcast, or I just need to let go of this crippling fear of public speaking. What is that about? And we're able to figure that out from that past life energy, or it might have been something in this lifetime. We can figure out fears and phobias and just be releasing things. So you get to enjoy your life more and get to feel happy and healthy, and that you have a wonderful purpose and that you're able to live that purpose. So the series of the 3 sessions is $9.97 in US dollars, and you're able to, as I said, use that link and put in that card number, and there's a secure payment processor there, and then you schedule your times and you write in your questions, and it's also got prep instructions for you written there, and then you're just you're scheduled, and I'll see that when it comes through, and I'll send you an email to welcome you, and we'll just start planning together for your sessions. I totally respect monthly budgets, or budgets being like every 2 weeks on an every 2-week paycheck basis. And if you do not wish to spend the $9.97 up front, if that's hard to do, you are so welcome to do an installment plan with me. And I'm happy to do 3 payments at $375 each. The payment processor won't be able to do that. It's just set up to do the $9.97 up front. But if you want to do it the other way, just let me know. Just email me via my website, and we'll jump on a quick call together, and we'll do the scheduling for you. And we can do it, as I said, as far as a month apart. So then it would be $375 once a month for 3 months to make it more bite size for you, if you need to do the payment that way. And let me tell you 2 tips I've learned from smart clients who've shared with me. One of them was able to use her medical savings plan, her healthcare dollars that she had via her employer, or maybe you've put aside dollars for yourself. And all she needed from me was an invoice um, for each of the sessions, stating that we were doing therapeutic hypnotherapy. And then, since that was a benefit that she had, she then got it paid for via her employer plan through the healthcare savings account benefit. So that may be an option for some of you. And quite a number of people have taken advantage of PayPal. Has a no interest loan program going for either 6 or 12 or 18 months. And you simply would use the link and choose PayPal, and then go in there and see if you qualify for that. And then the full payment is sent to me, and you're paying it off over time to PayPal. So that's a neat option too. So various options there. The point is, I just want to help you get what you need if you are drawn to doing the in-depth sessions. And then the program that I have for existing clients who want to keep going is called Keep the Momentum Going. And it is 4 1-hour sessions, one every 6 weeks. So we'd be working together for a period of 6 months to just keep that wonderful momentum going from everything that you've been working on and have already accomplished and done. And that is $749. So you'll also see the link for that. So that's enough of me talking. Let's get to your questions. And let me invite everybody to unmute here too. All right. So inviting you to unmute in case we need clarification, or if you want to walk through a little bit further. And as I said, you are so welcome to go into the chat and just roll all the way up to the beginning, because it just kind of scrolls along as things get added in, and just jump in there and grab, copy paste any of the links that you need from me. And questions. Okay. Oh, Kirk, that's a great question. Kirk is asking, how do you distinguish between energy or discomfort that is useful, that we are still learning from, apparently still need to learn from, versus energy that does not serve us going forward? That's a that's a fantastic question. So the way I look at that and handle that, and tell me your thoughts. If it's energy, that's because energy can make us feel so many ways. If it's just making you feel scattered and like you just can't focus, and you just can't do what you need to do, I don't see how that would be serving you. I think, in that example would be something to be like, wow, this is not serving me. I am ready to clear that energy, and just ask your higher self and guides, ask the angels, ask God, ask whoever you want to ask for that help from, because it's just a heartfelt request to please help you clear that energy. You can do it the way that I gave as the example with that thank you angels clearing prayer. You can do it via your own prayer or meditation. You can do it by being in nature. You can do it by journaling. You can do it as you fall asleep at night. There's so many different ways. But let's take another example. If you've got pain can be a tricky one, because there can be physical pain or discomfort. So the first thing I always do, if that's coming up for a client, or if I've got it coming up for myself, for instance, I've had a bit of a history with left hip pain, and I'm like, I've cleared it and cleared it and cleared it, but it came up again most recently in September, and it was to the point where I was like really limping. It was like really impacting my mobility. I knew it was energy, so I just sat down and meditated, and just said, what's going on? Does this serve me in any way? Is this useful? Because occasionally pain, discomfort, exhaustion can just be telling us, slow down. You're just doing too much. You're expecting too much of your body. But because I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't doing anything that, should have kicked off that pain. I hadn't, started some new 2 hour, crazy leg day at the gym. I hadn't fallen, I hadn't done anything. I woke up with it. I'm like, ooh, something's really going on here. So for me, I was able to find a past life, and I was able to clear it myself. And it made perfect sense why it was coming up. And it took me 2 or 3 weeks, but that was very useful because for me, I cleared a big past life. It was a big past life release. So I would just simply ask whatever the discomfort or the emotion on that front end, is this useful to me? And just listen, just close your eyes and listen. And you're going to hear yes or no. And if you can't sort it out, if you just cannot tell, then just ask to have it cleared and see what happens there. And if that's still not useful for you, then that is the time to me, that's the time to ask for help. That's the time to work with an energy healer, and get someone. 'Cause it's hardest to work on ourselves. So it really helps to have somebody be in sacred space with us and help us with that. So did that answer your question, or do you want to give
Yes,
an
it does trigger another question is what is the clearing process? And if it's tied to a past life, what is the clearing process you're talking about?
okay. I hope you have some sense of humor. I'll share the one that came up for me because I think it was surprising to me. It was ridiculous. And you're all going to have to pardon the language. I'm just going to say it the way it came up. It was pretty incredible. So as I said, I was having severe left hip pain. I'm limping. I'm like, what is going on? And what was happening at that time, I was getting ready to go to my new boyfriend's home and property for the first time. And I knew I was going to be going there in a couple of days. And I was like, wait a minute, does this, because when I sat down and was meditating on it, they were showing me, and I was like kind of picturing that property. And I'm like, wait a minute, have I been there before? Is there something to do with that? And what they showed me was, it was not flattering. It was not flattering at all. They showed me dying a painful death after 2 or 3 days, based on being kicked by an ass, by
Oh,
the,
God.
the donkey mule,
Yeah.
the hybrid. And I said, what the heck is the lesson from that? Why is this coming up? Is this anything to do with him? Is this anything to do with his property? And they said, no. And they said, we'd like you to look at your life right now. And who are you locked in combat with? Who are you being an ass with? Who are you just struggling and struggling to forgive, to be peaceful with? Who have you not moved on with, where you need to knock off and stop being an ass? And I was like, oh, I got it. I got it. I got it. Chagrined, chagrined. So I asked for help with forgiving that individual, which I'd asked for many times. And I said, I just need to let go of this situation that woman and I were just enmeshed in. It's like, I need to let it go, let it go, let it go. Even though the stakes felt really, really high for me, let it go. And so I then was able to go to his property, on which there were donkeys. I did not run out to meet them. And I love animals, but I wasn't quite ready. The first time I was like, no, I'm not ready to run out there. Donkeys are a bit too much like asses for me right now. But the second or third time I was there, I said, can I please go out and meet the donkeys? I brought some old sneakers. I know we'll need to, cherry pick our way through the field, I'm sure. And I went out and he said, yeah, I was waiting for you to ask. I was surprised you didn't want to meet them before. And I was like, I said, I'll spare you the details, but I was having kind of a messy past life release, and I'm okay now. I've worked through it, and I'm working to continue to be very peaceful with that other individual and not be an ass. So that's, like I said, the not flattering example, because the word plays can just be very literal. If you've got a lot of neck pain, just ask yourself, who do I feel like is being a pain in my neck? Or why am I being a pain in the neck? That, like I said, the body and the languaging, it's very, very literal a lot of times as we release this energy. So does that help, or do you have a different example?
It does. I guess it's there's imagery involved and symbolism, and it's emotion, spiritualism. I mean, it's
A lot of emotions and some sense of humor too.
yeah, yeah. That just
Oh,
kills me.
an ass.
Yeah. Oh
So,
my God.
okay, thank you for asking that great question. And um, from whence does the healing force come? Our higher self, source, our spirit guides, any and all of the above. I believe it's just whatever you're most aligned with. It's what's in your heart, and we can receive healing from so many different sources. It's definitely different for different people. I did work with a client recently, and again, to respect her belief system, she said, I only want to receive healing from God. I only want to work directly with God. I do not want to work with angels, higher selves, ascended master. Fine, just whatever, because it's that's she knew. I mean, she knew, and that was her very specific conduit for her. So that's absolutely
Yeah.
what we did. And if someone has been raised in another culture or another tradition, sometimes I'll have to have them walk me through it a little bit,
Hmm.
to get my cultural knowledge up. But then again, we'll do it in whatever way works for them. For instance, I was working with a woman today who's from Kenya, and she had to teach me what the word chief meant in Kenya and how that is used. And it means leader, and just all the layers and levels to that. So sometimes it's like, get me up to speed so I can be of more help to the person, because different nationalities and cultures
Yeah.
and religions. So,
That
and
helps. That helps a lot. Thank you.
oh, good. So again, it's whatever's in your heart, whatever's going to be best for you. And then Deborah's asking, what is this about the angels' nets? I've never heard of that before. Yes, that's a great question, Deborah. You won't find it. You won't find it like in a book as like a standard prayer or something like that. It's actually from my first spiritual teacher, and I have her permission to use it because it just resonated for me so highly, to just imagine the angels casting these beautiful nets up through the core of Mother Earth and sweeping their nets up like that. And I have at times swept their nets through my house with incredible detail and precision, like up through the crawl space or up through the basement, up through the first floor, up to the second floor, out through the roof, taking everything with them that did not serve me in this time and place. And when you use that clearing, it's a clearing prayer. And when you use that clearing prayer, it's balancing your energy, it's raising your vibration and frequency, it's releasing energy you don't need, it's releasing emotions you don't need. And you can either clear it up to the light, up to heaven, or you can send it down your grounding cord to a gracious Mother Earth. I like to send both ways because it has different impacts to me. When we send things down our grounding cord, we're not only letting go of it, and Mother Earth, she'll turn it into something useful. Even though we're sending down like, oh, I'm just so frustrated today, or I'm just so exhausted today, she will turn it into something useful because she just transmutes. But it helps us get more grounded because we're sending it down our grounding cord and sending it down our body. Because many of us do benefit from being more grounded, more in our body. If you have a lot of physical health issues, concerns, um, uh, whether it's pain or whatever it might be, often we're not in our bodies because it doesn't feel good, and we can find that our higher self needs to be more invited in. I definitely see that in clients that I work with, where there's a lot of physicality issues going on, and we can not only work with the higher self and guides and whoever they most relate to, but often we're working with the diva of their health. And let me tell you, I throw a lot of retirement parties for the diva of the health, because people who've had just a bunch of health issues, that diva of our health, and a diva, DEVA, it's an overlighting body. And guess what their job is to help us with our health. And if they've just been fighting the good fight with us for 62 years, like with me, and they're just like, when they come in and you just see them and they're like a crispy critter, they're just exhausted. It's like, would you like to be retired? Can we thank you for everything you've done? And I like barely get the words out of my mouth and they're like gone. I'm like, do you want the champagne bottle? Some of them do want like a little more acknowledgement. They want like a little party, and they want to like give you a hug or get a hug. So it just depends on the person. And then we invite in that shiny new diva of the health. They're almost always in their mid-30s. I find it fascinating. I think maybe it's because it's a time of life when a lot of us feel like still really young and healthy, but you've got some wisdom and you're starting to figure some things out. But it proved me wrong. I'm so happy to meet a marvelous. Oh, I did have one recently, and she came in and she was my client said, oh, she's quite motherly. She's quite older, but she was just, robust and perfect. So again, it's a reflection of our psyche and our belief system. So, and so does that answer your question, Deborah? So it's just
Yes, it does. Thanks.
perfect, perfect. And how to cure plaque psoriasis? Oh, that is a great question. Often psoriasis, because if you think of our skin as our largest organ, and I've had quite a number of clients with psoriasis or another skin condition that's been really troubling them. And often what we find is a past life where they've been burned. So there's been something that's gone on, and we just want to, because emotions are timeless and the soul remembers everything. So we just want to speak with the soul and just say, oh, thank you. Thank you for reminding us. That gives us an opportunity to look at that life. And we can very, very gently, just carefully move through whatever happened, and we can heal and release any stuck emotions. Because let's just find out, we're not going to dwell on it. It's not going to bring in more pain. But it just needs to be acknowledged, because it's just bubbling up and it's just showing and showing. And when I went through a whole bunch of releasing, and I was doing it as I was like falling asleep at night and saying, take me to the healing temple and please just do a body scan, and let's just heal whatever. Let's let it go, let it go, let it go. Because I am here to be healthy and be able to really help others. And I need my great health for that. And I would wake up in the morning and I was like, oh my gosh, where's the humping bruise come from? And then I would hear, well, you wanted the release, Wendy, you know, and it would just come up and through the skin. I'm like, oh, I see. And then my guides would just tell me, that was this injury. And you're seeing like the final piece of it coming out of your energy field. And that's why you've got this huge bruise under your left rib cage that you're waking up with, going, what is that? Where'd that come from? And they're like, okay, Indian Arrow, Colonial America, 16. I'm like, oh, got it, got it, got it. I know what life that was. So it's just releasing. It's us bringing up the emotions, bringing up the energy. And I know that one can be so frustrating because the psoriasis, I'm fortunate I've never had it, but I've had so many people tell me it just feels awful and, just so itchy and so uncomfortable. So
Or
we,
see what it does, it interferes with the meditation. See,
oh,
I have been practicing meditation for years and years, and not for the 2 years.
it even
So my
interferes
left leg, and
with.
then, you know, like you say, it is itchy,
I'm so sorry.
and you can't still the mind.
Right, right. So what I would work to do with that you can do on your own is do your best to visualize. I worked with a wonderful energy chiropractor for years, and he was having massive skin issues. So what he did was he picked like a little part of his body where the skin just felt great. Let's say it's your left hand. And he's like, great, look at that healthy pink skin, look at that. Oh, that feels great. And he then was like visualizing and feeling into it. And he then was just doing the affirmation of, I'm releasing, XYZ, I'm releasing whatever, I'm letting go of whatever's causing this. This is not serving me anymore. Because, I've had clients who they're like, I can't even put shoes on. There's so much psoriasis going on my feet and on my toes. It's just so miserable. But he would then just visualize that healthy pink skin or whatever the right words are for you. And just, he was working with that every day and then like feeling that. It's like, okay, what does that feel like in my body? And it's an energy imprint. And for you, I think I would also be asking for that diva of your health to come in and help you and see if you've got one that you can just thank that. Because if you've been dealing with this for years, let's just give that individual a retirement party and invite in the new one and get someone in who can help you with it.
Yes. Now the dealer
So
and
frustrating.
the guide, I mean, are they different entities or what? The spirit guide and the
I,
dealer, are
I
they the
think
same?
I think of spirit guides as like the overarching term. There's many types of spirit guides. It's the guide for us. Spirit guides can include angels, ascended masters, can include totem animals, can include galactic beings. And then I think of the divas, DEVA, as being part of Pan and the nature spirits, as a different classification of a different type of being of light. The divas are responsible for things like our health, our home and property. Everyone has a diva for their home and property. So before I go in and clear, I did ask permission. You didn't hear me do it, but I did ask permission to work with the diva of everyone's home and property. Because think about, if you're the manager, you're in charge of the home and property, and someone comes in guns blazing and starts like doing things, you're like, what are you doing? Wait a minute, that's my job. So I do make sure to align with them. I just want to be very respectful of the different divas and the different beings of light, and just us work with them as partners.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yes. And um, Lauren is mentioning seeing Jesus Christ is the healer. I had a vision of a large eye, 15 feet across, crying over me. Was that me from the future? Who would do that? And Lauren, that's a really powerful question. And I'm sorry I can't answer that for you in this group. That we'd need to work on that one-on-one. That sounds like a really profound question. Are you able to connect with your guides yourself? Have you tried asking about that? Or is it something new that's coming up?
I started profusely watering, so I thought it was me when
Meaning
I asked.
meaning today during session, during this workshop?
No, over the past few days.
Okay, okay.
And then
Um,
when I finally gave it up and I said, okay, it must be me in the future. I must be a huge immortal.
yes, I don't know. It just sounds fascinating. The 15 feet across. So yeah, I
It was
just,
in my bedroom and it was a projected because I was really worried about my carpets getting damaged by all the water coming down the walls.
Mhm.
And I didn't think of it as tears at first, but like a day or two later, it's like that eye was crying over me. And then I felt really sick to my stomach. If something that divine is crying over me, am I supposed to live, die a terrible death?
No, please don't go there. That's just your ego trying to get you worried. No, don't go there. It's just yeah, it's just something that would need to be worked through. So yeah, that's really intriguing, and I'd be happy to work with you one-on-one on that if that's something you'd like to do. And then let's wrap up with Charlene. Oh, thank you. So Catherine had to leave, had to run for an appointment. So Catherine, thank you for being here if you're still here. And then Charlene is asking, um, feels angels around her, but sometimes it's hard to understand what they want me to do, want to become more in tune with them. I'm always praying to see them. Yes, because the angels are just a higher vibration than us. And because they are more of a collective energy, it definitely is a process to be able to learn to communicate with them. Just keep doing it, Laura, Charlene, because the more you talk with them and tune in with them and ask them, it's like, getting that two-way communication going. Have you ever used oracle cards, Charlene? Do you know what oracle cards are? And you're welcome to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay.
No, but
Okay.
because I'm Christian, there's a lot of things that we don't really use. So I'm very skeptical of certain things, but I'm trying to be as open as possible.
I see. Okay. So what I understand. So yeah, we can be taught, and I always want to be respectful of how people have been raised or whatever,
Right.
whatever, church belief there is, etc. So what oracle cards are, they're simply decks of cards. It's not the tarot. I don't have anything against the tarot, but it's simply a lot harder to learn. So oracle cards, it's simply a way of, I personally, I'll just speak for me. I find them very high vibration. I choose which ones I'm going to work with. I mean, these happen to be the reason I grabbed this set is it's archangels, because you're asking about the angels, and it's done as archangel animal cards. So you simply, the way you use them is you just attune them to your heart, and you just ask for help for yourself, and to just be in tune with what's important for you to know. And then it can be as simple as just literally drawing one card from the deck, and the cards are pretty darn innocuous, yet also meaningful. So for instance, the card I drew was rabbit, and rabbit is associated with Archangel Gabriel, and the message is recognize your significance. So, that's the type of card that someone would tend to draw when they're kind of struggling with self-confidence, or with knowing what's, right for them. But I completely respect, if you've been told and you choose to abide by, you're told don't use any tools or whatever, it's not okay.
What's
It's
the name of it? What was the name?
this deck is called Archangel Animal.
Okay.
And they're made by Diana Cooper, who is a well-respected spiritual teacher. But again, different strokes for different folks. You just have to
I'm
tune.
learning and I'm open. I'm trying it whatever possible.
Just tune into your heart. I've got a wonderful friend who's very, very gifted in doing a lot of beautiful work for the planet. And she, with the greatest of intent, sent me an activation And it's, it's a program where you listen to, and it's an energy activation. And I didn't even have it in my email. And again, it's a good friend. I respect what she's doing in so many ways, but my guides clearly said, do not do that activation. It's not meant for you. It's just that simple. It's just, and that's nothing against her. It was perfect for her. And I'm so glad she's sharing it. She feels, she's meant to share it. So, but you have to know, you have to learn your discernment. I don't think there's anything more important than learning what's in your own heart and what's right for you and what's not right for you. And there's no judgment, against the other people. So, but I love Oracle cards because, as I said, I find them powerful, meaningful. Anyone can use them. They do come with little instruction booklets too, that'll give you like more information. But again, angels and animals, there's two of my favorite things. So to find it in one card deck, I was like, oh yeah, that one's for me. So, so I hope that helps with that a little bit.
Thank
And a PCOS, yes, I've had a fair number of clients with that. I'm so sorry. I know that's really, really frustrating because of just the weight gain and not feeling good in your body. And God told you are healed, and you're still waiting for it. So you can absolutely, with the greatest of respect, oh, thank you. I so appreciate that healing. I could not be more appreciative and grateful for that. I do need to comment. I'm still feeling this. I'm still experiencing this. Can we go further with that?
Okay.
Can we do more with that healing? I'd be so appreciative of that. So it's you acknowledging and, being in gratitude for it, but we do need to get the healing to land, so to speak, and to be practical. That was absolutely my journey with releasing pain, because I had crippling physical pain that was to the point of putting me into a wheelchair. And as the progress came bit by bit by bit, that was the process I took, was to, say, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh my gosh, yes, progress, but I still cannot walk. I can't even walk through the mall, with my daughters. I can't make it from one end to the other because it's still kicking off so much back pain and so much neck pain. What do we do? What do I need to do differently? Because my request and my goal was to be able to walk the 10,000 steps a day. That's considered like normal activity. For me, because I'm little, because I'm short, that's only about 3.2 miles. For my super tall daughter and my super tall son-in-law, that's 5 miles for them. But for me, because my gait is smaller, it's 3.2. So, but that changed everything when I was able to continue to release that pain. And then that allowed me to get to the healthy weight. And then that allowed the energy to, come back in and not be feeling so wiped out all the time. So it just, was a myriad. But does that feel helpful to you to just,
Yes,
express the
definitely.
gratitude, but don't feel shy. Just say, thank you, give me more. I so
Gotcha.
appreciate,
I'm writing it down. I wrote everything down.
we're getting, because a lot of people will just stop. They're like, oh,
Right,
I'm grateful if I ask for more, or oh, I don't dare ask for more. Well, why not?
right,
We want you to be able to fully live your purpose and just feel great and feel healthy and happy and have lots of energy. That is not going to take away from anyone else or harm anyone else. It's actually going to help the people around you.
right,
It's not like this bucket. It's not like there's this finite bucket of great health. We're all meant to, have it, with the one caveat. Yes, sometimes there's specific lessons, often there for other people in the
right.
family and friends circle, and that person is a volunteer. and is just really going through some hard stuff physically, that's making everyone around them need to rise to the occasion. So, but that's the time we've got for today. So thank you for sticking with it for 10 minutes over here. And I so appreciate you all being here, and who you are, and what you're doing on the planet, and would love to work with you more. So please, if you're would like to do the one-on-one sessions, just let me know that, or jump on into the podcast and, come join us live, or listen to the recording. Join me in the Facebook group, and just let me know how I can be of service. And we just all boats rise with the tide together. So thank you, and have a wonderful night, everyone. I'm going to turn the camera and sound off, but I'll leave it up just for a couple minutes, in case anybody needs time to go back into that first chat and just copy paste any of it. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Wendy.
Thank you. Bye, Kirk.
Thank
Great
you,
to see
Wendy.
you. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time and being here.